If you love space science and astronomy news, check out my 60-second short videos every weekday. In case you missed them, here's all the daily videos in one cut. There was a ton of great stories this week, but of course there's a ton more out there just waiting for you to discover them on your own. Please follow, drop a like, and consider subscribing on YouTube to support the channel and so you don't miss another space science update. This stunning picture of two galaxies merging is a composite of infrared data from the James Webb Space Telescope and Hubble Space Telescope data at visual wavelengths. Because our eyes can't perceive infrared wavelengths, the two data sets have been scientifically mapped to different colors to allow humans an insight into this cosmic dance. It's hard to tell from the image, but IC 2163 on the left is slightly behind NGC 2207 on the right, and the two have been in the process for merging for about 40 million years. The interactions of the two galaxies cause all kinds of astrophysical effects, including huge star-forming regions that you can see as bright pinkish areas in the arms of the galaxies. In a few billion years, these two galaxies will merge completely and become one. Whether a merger like this will lead to a more round elliptical galaxy or to a larger spiral galaxy is an area of active research. Will we ever see samples returned from Mars? NASA held a press conference yesterday to outline its new approach to the Mars sample return problem. If you haven't been following along, the current problems are both cost and schedule. The new plan is to develop two distinct methods of landing the payload on Mars. These will be formulated in parallel, and then at some point the future path forward will be selected from the two options on the drawing board. Option A is a sky crane effort similar to what put the Curiosity and Perseverance rovers on Mars, and Option B is an as yet unspecified new commercial capability that will be developed. A smaller version of the Mars ascent vehicle using a radioisotope power system instead of solar panels will carry the 30 sample containers into Mars orbit, and the final leg of the return will then rely on ESA's Earth return orbiter to grab the samples from Mars orbit and bring them back here. ESA says it's currently examining NASA's proposal, and you can find more details on the NASA website. Bill Nye has inspired generations of young people to pursue careers in science, and his decades of work were recognized last week when he received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Biden. The medal is the United States' highest civilian honor and goes along with Nye's 19 Emmys and numerous other awards in recognizing his massive contributions to science education and outreach. Keep your eyes open next week for Comet G3 Atlas, which is returning to the inner solar system for the first time in 160,000 years. It's a good target for viewers in the southern hemisphere, but those of us in the north may have a chance to view it too. The comet will rise before the sun on the 12th of January, or if you hate early mornings, you might catch it after the sun sets on January 14th. It's predicted to reach a brightness between that of Jupiter and Venus, and if that holds up, you should be able to pick the comet out low in the sky and close to the sun. Comets don't always survive a close approach to the sun, but if it does, there are some great resources over at skyandtelescope.com to tell you where and when to look. ESA's Bepi-Colombo spacecraft just made its sixth and final flyby of Mercury, passing just 185 miles above the surface of the planet. In these amazing images captured by the spacecraft's monitoring cameras, or MCAMs, the mission is already gathering valuable data about Mercury ahead of the start of the main mission. That begins in November of 2026, when Bepi-Colombo will insert two orbiters into polar orbit around Mercury. For now, we have the flyby images, and they're super interesting. In this image, there are some bright features on the surface that indicate material being carried up from the interior. This could be from volcanic activity or asteroid impacts, and there's evidence for both. You can see Fontaine Impact Crater on the left, formed 300 million years ago by an asteroid impact, and the Nathaire Facula at center top that was caused by a huge volcanic explosion. These will be the final images of Mercury for the MCAMs because the module they're attached to will separate from the two orbiters before orbital insertion.